Will and shall are two of the most challenging words in English, even for native speakers. But in this lesson, I will show you how to use these two words correctly and avoid making common mistakes with them. So let's begin. Welcome back. Before we start, as always, if you have any questions at all, just ask me in the comment section below and I will talk to you there. Now, in this lesson, I will teach you the two important rules for using will and shall correctly. And we will discuss how to use them in questions to make requests, offers, and suggestions. There's a final quiz at the end to test your understanding. Okay, so how do you use will and shall correctly? Well, here's the short answer. In modern English, shall has become uncommon. That means most people just don't use shall. In fact, in American English, shall is very rarely used. It's mainly found in some types of questions, but we shall discuss them later in this lesson. So for now, if you are not sure about the rules, just use will. It's perfectly okay to use will in all statements, no problem. But I'm sure you're watching this video because you want to know the proper grammatical rules for will and shall. So let's talk about those now. There are two sets of rules for using will and shall. I call these the normal future and the strong future. Let's talk about the normal future first. This is when we express a plan, an expectation, or a prediction. The grammar rule says that if the subject of the sentence is I or we, then shall should be used. Here are some examples. I shall wait for you at the train station. And we shall not go to the museum if we don't have time. You see here that we're using shall because the subjects are I and we. In English, I and we are known as the first person. If the subject is the second person, you, or the third person, he, she, it, they, etc., then will should be used. Here are some examples. You will find the flash drive in the locker. The match will not take place on October 7th. Instead of the match, you can also say it will not take place. And finally, all employees will receive fire safety training every 2 years. Here you can say they instead of all employees. Now these sentences on the screen are called the normal future or plain future because they're normal sentences and there's no emotion attached to them. But sometimes we want to express a strong emotion about the future. It could be a promise, a command, determination, or duty. We call this the strong future. The grammar rule is that for the strong future, we reverse will and shall. So now we're going to use will with the first person, I and we, and shall with the second and third person. Take this sentence for example. I will get an A on this exam, I promise. Compare this to the previous sentence. I shall wait for you at the train station. There's no emotion there. It's just a simple future arrangement. But when I say, I will get an A on this exam, you can tell that I'm showing strong determination. So this is the strong future and we use will. Here's another example. We will not tolerate smoking inside the building. You see that this is a warning and it's a strong warning, so we use will. These are first person subjects. With second and third person subjects, we use shall. For example, you shall finish your homework before you go out to play. What type of sentence is this? It's a command or order. You can imagine a mother saying this to her child. The next example is, the wedding shall not take place. Compare this to the previous sentence. The match will not take place on October 7th. Why? Maybe because of weather conditions or other scheduling problems. But the strong future sentence is very different. When I say the wedding shall not take place, I'm saying I won't allow the wedding to take place. I will stop the wedding. Of course, I have no reason to stop anybody's wedding, but you can see how there's a lot of emotion or feeling in this sentence. Here's one last example. All employees shall wear safety gloves when handling hazardous chemicals. This is a rule, and it's a strict rule that must be obeyed by all employees. That's why we use shall. Now, for all pronouns, I, you, we, they, he, she, and it, you can shorten both will and shall and say I'll, you'll, will, etc. Will not shortens to won't. Shall not can be shortened to shan't, but that form isn't really used in modern English. Okay, let's now move on and talk about using will and shall in questions. There are three types of questions that are important for us in this lesson. Have a look at these examples. What's the difference between them? Well, the first, can you get me a glass of water, is a request. That is, I want you to do something for me. The second, can I get you a drink, is an offer. I'm offering to do something for you. And the third, why don't we have pizza tonight, is a suggestion. These are all perfectly normal sentences, but you can also make them using will and shall. The rule is that for requests, you need to use will. You have to say, will you get me a glass of water? You cannot say, shall you get me a glass of water? To make offers or suggestions, you need to use shall. So, shall I get you a drink is correct, but will I get you a drink is wrong. In the same way, shall we have pizza tonight is correct, but will we have pizza tonight is wrong. Remember, I told you in the beginning that if you are confused between will and shall, you can just use will in statements. That is true, but in questions for offers and suggestions, you can never use will. Keep that in mind. All right, if you're ready, let's now do a quiz to see if you can use will and shall correctly. On the screen, there are 10 sentences. In each sentence, I want you to choose the correct word. Use the conjugation chart to decide your answers. Stop the video now, work out your answers, then play the video again and check. All right, let's discuss the answers. Number 1 is, I shall bring my kids along when I come next time. This is just the normal future, so shall is correct. Number 2, you will receive an email confirmation with your order details within 24 hours. Number 3, shall I open the window? This is an offer, so we use shall. Number 4, the tenant shall pay the rent to the landlord on or before the 5th day of the month. We use shall because this is the strong future. It's a very strict clause in a contract, and the subject is the third person, the tenant. Tenant means someone who rents a home or an office, and the landlord is the owner of the place. This kind of complicated sentence using shall is very common in contracts and other legal documents. All right, number 5, my parents will be staying with us for a couple of weeks. This sentence expresses a future arrangement, so it's just the regular future. Number 6, you shall not stay up after 10. Do you understand? Stay up means to stay awake. So this sounds like a parent telling his or her child to go to bed before 10 o'clock. It's a command, so it's the strong future, and we use shall for the second person, you. Number 7, will you please be quiet for a moment? This is a request, and for requests we use will. Number 8, I will never forget all the help you gave me. This is a strong emotional statement. It's a promise. For that reason, we use will with the first person, I. Number 9 is also the strong future. We will ensure that every customer walks away satisfied. It shows determination and is an expression of duty. So will is correct here. And number 10, shall we go to the movies? We use shall because it's a suggestion. All right, how many answers did you get right? Let me know in the comments section below. I'd like to say thanks to Joel Armas Matthias. There was an error in my old lesson on will and shall where I mistakenly clubbed the second person you together with the first person, and Joel very kindly pointed it out. That error has been corrected in this lesson, so thank you, Joel. Okay, click the subscribe button to get more free English lessons, and until next time, happy learning.